We are just about set to go, and still obvious from a look on your face, a look on Luger's face, that you're still unhappy about the situation, and nothing but concentration right there in the corner of Dusty Rhodes. James J. down on the floor, and we are set to go for this big event. Dusty Rhodes, Lex Luger, and like I said before we start talking about the sleeper hold, we were talking about Tampa, Florida, and how the fans know Dusty Rhodes and know Lex Luger.
Well, it's going to be a great match, that's for sure. And there's another interesting sidelight here. The man that's really right at the base of this whole controversy, Johnny Weaver, the legend himself, is sitting there at ringside during this match. Now, there's a man that should have absolute knowledge of whether something is a legitimate sleeper hold or not. The question is, would Johnny Weaver, knowing that Dusty Rhodes is his friend, a man that he's worked very closely with to try and teach the hold, would he be honest enough to look up at the referee and say, hey, that's not a legitimate chokehold. Dusty Rhodes is choking him and suggests it be broken? I don't think so, and that's what I told Mr. Weaver.
Well, you were over there talking to Johnny Weaver, and now Dusty backs Luger into a corner. Dusty Rhodes, we said before, so vastly popular in the state of Florida, but also worldwide. Both men playing cat and mouse right now. They lock up. James J. Dillon watches on. Back to a corner. To a neutral corner. Bill Alfonso, he'll call for the break. And very, very slowly, Luger trying to break away. You got to be careful with Dusty Rhodes, and right to the back of the neck. And that upset the Dream that time. He came out with that big right hand.
Well, Tony, was a legitimate forearm smash. The only thing, Dusty Rhodes was in the rope. Did he take a cheap shot? I don't know.
Dusty Rhodes, obviously, for all the years in his career, likes to set his own pace, dictate the match, and he's been able to do that with most of his matches. And Luger now has him into the corner. Alfonso caught him for the break once again to the back of the neck. Working on Dusty Rhodes, and still the fury in him chases Luger right out of the corner.
It's just a little bit of an inkling of the old Texas outlaw on Dusty Rhodes. He was ready to come firing out of that corner with his dukes held high.
Luger smiling about what he has done to Dusty so far, and now for a third time we'll go back to a corner, a neutral corner. Luger holding on. And fans, as we watch what happens here, reminder, Lex Luger, Dusty Rhodes. Luger missed. Special challenge match, Rhodes working over the total package with a left hand. We got to take a break. Don't you dare go away. The action's hot.
This is my lava machine. This is my lava machine. Lava liquid. In 30 years of working with my hands, I've never used a hand cleaner like it. Power of pumice in a liquid. Feel it.
As we're back to action, something needs to be said right here, James J. I think right before the break, and there you are right there, you got a little too close to the action, it appears.
Well, when it's intense and there's so much at stake, sometimes I get totally wrapped up, even more so than I should. In this particular case, that's what happened. But now here's the American Dream doing what only he can do so well, and that's the showboat. This is disgusting.
Well, certainly the fans are behind him. And Rhodes strutting around the ring while Luger and James J. Dillon just regaining his composure right on the floor. Luger, another athlete who likes to dictate the pace of the match and has been able to throughout his career. So you're talking about two athletes who are different, yes, but there's a lot of ways they're similar.
Well, when Lex Luger goes in against Ronnie Garvin, Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson, more often than not, even with Nikita Koloff, he goes in with a height advantage and a weight advantage. But with Dusty Rhodes, you're looking at two superpowers and really two big men. And it's hard for Lex Luger to go in there with Dusty Rhodes and to physically intimidate.
That's true, and now Rhodes holding on with a headlock. Luger may be complaining he is about holding the hair, but holding on to that headlock and not able to shoot him across the ropes. Once again, Rhodes holding on. Luger complaining about pulling the hair, but Bill Alfonso seeing it's legal.
You can see from the position of his hand where it might be suspect.
Right to the ropes. Good shoulder tackle by Rhodes. Once again, Luger drops down, and he missed.
Uh-oh.
There it is. The sleeper hold for just a second. The Weaver lock applying to Luger, and quickly your game plan was to get out of the ring when that was applied.
Well, I don't even want the thing applied. Again, it comes back to the question, is it a sleeper hold or is it a choke? It all happened so fast it was really difficult to determine, but I didn't even want to take a chance.
The fans at the Sun Dome on their feet for that one. Bill Alfonso and James J. Dillon talking. You know, we talked about Johnny Weaver being at ringside. He and Bob Cottle were commentating this match for another program, so they had purpose of being there. You mentioned that Johnny was there at ringside as if he was just a spectator, but he had his job to do. He's an announcer with Jim Crockett Promotions, the Wrestling Network.
Well, for me, it's just a little bit more than coincidence that Johnny Weaver happened to be out there. Why the Wrestling Network would invite Johnny Weaver to sit down to give his commentaries beside me anyway. Well, and especially this important match to be so close to ringside with so much controversy over the Weaver lock.
Well, both men now walking around. Obviously, the match has had a slow pace, but that's what both men want. Right hand. First it was a foot, and now it's Luger exploding onto Dusty Rhodes with an offensive thrust. He tries with a knee and misses, and it's Rhodes quickly with that right leg of Luger, hooking him in. It appears to be a figure four right here. Dusty looking around the fan, hooks it in. The figure four leg lock. James J., you're holding your head in the background.
I am. I wish I could stay with this. I've got an important phone call, Tony. I'll be right back with you with the action. You carry on.
Wait, what? He's gone. James J. Dillon has walked off. The fans look on here. Bill Alfonso, the referee, checking with Lex Luger. Now, as you can tell, fans, he is right in the middle of the ring. Nowhere to go. Got a 2 count, and quickly Luger was up. And something happened to Dusty Rhodes. It appeared that maybe that James J. Dillon raked him across the eyes, and now Dusty backing J.J. into a corner, at least trying to.
Tony, I'm back. Did I miss something? What is this?
Well, he got out of the figure four leg lock, James J. It appeared as if you may have raked him across the eye.
Me?
That's what it appeared to be.
The camera showed that.
To be honest with you, it was very, very quick, and I can't really say that for certain. But obviously, one thing you've done here now, you got the attention of Dusty Rhodes. That enabled Luger to come up from behind and nail him in the back of the head.
Well, the fact that he chased me around the ring, I think...
Now, look here, on the right side, that looks like your... Yep, that is. That's your shoe in your right hand hitting Dusty on top of the head.
And he deserved it.
Well, I'm not going to comment on that. I know the hatred between you and Dusty Rhodes and the Four Horsemen and the Superpowers, so that's obviously your opinion. A right hand at the top of the head.
Well, I lost my head because he chased me around the ring in an unprovoked attack. He got what he deserved, but being the gentleman that I am, I've regained my composure, backed off, and let Lex Luger do what he does best, and that's hurt people.
And he really has Dusty Rhodes hurt right now. Rhodes trying to regain composure. As you can see, shaking away the cobwebs, trying to rise up on his feet. He's on his knees right now. Still, Luger assaults away at the head. And he's up to his feet. Dusty Rhodes once again. A little bit wobbly. Back to the corner. Luger, oh, he goes right down again. And Luger does not let up. Right on the top of the head. Oh, to the turnbuckle opposite side. And Dusty Rhodes in a lot of trouble right here. Once again, down to his knees.
Tony, there aren't many men that have taken that kind of punishment from the hands of Lex Luger and managed to stay in there, but Dusty Rhodes is doing it so far.
And Luger now right across the throat with that shin, pushing on the throat of Dusty Rhodes. We got to take a break. Don't you dare go away.
How fast is the new Isuzu?
Headlock, that chin lock to Dusty Rhodes. Lex Luger obviously is in control of this match.
Dusty Rhodes trying to regain his faculties. You can see Johnny Weaver, his jaw just jabbering away at ringside, concerned over the fate of Dusty Rhodes at this point. He's spent a tremendous amount of time trying to teach him this Weaver lock, and it's real tough to apply any hold, let alone the Weaver lock, when you're on your knees and your head busted wide open, your vision clouded. Dusty Rhodes is in real trouble.
And I noticed something also. You continue to stay close to Johnny Weaver as if you think he's going to, get involved in this match in some form. But, Johnny Weaver would never really get involved in a match without being provoked.
There was a closed fist punch. You can see from my reaction at ringside, very concerned over that. And then already, I mean, just see there's Bill Alfonso just standing there. Fortunately, the American Dream went for the elbow, and Lex Luger very alertly moved out of the way.
Okay, the Dream still hurt. And now the total package. Lex Luger with the bear hug on Dusty Rhodes. One of his better moves. I've seen him win a lot of matches with this. We talk about the inverted backbreaker, but that bear hug is winning some matches also.
There again, while he's caught up in the bear hug, let alone an over-the-shoulder torture human rack, it's impossible for Dusty Rhodes to put the Weaver lock on from this position. And that's why Lex Luger very alertly is just bearing down with all the pressure that he possibly can.
Now Rhodes trying to measure up the elbow. Oh, Luger with a great move to cinch it up a little bit tighter. Just about the time Rhodes is ready to put that bionic elbow on. There, the intensity on the face of the U.S. champion. A man, since he's come to the NWA, certainly, to say he's made a name for himself would be an understatement. He's made a giant name for himself.
Tremendous career in front of him, too, Tony. Not only in the world of wrestling, the man someday certainly destined to be a world champion. He's got all the credentials. He's got all the equipment to make it happen if he wants to badly enough. But certainly a lucrative movie career, commercials, all waiting for him in the years and the months ahead. But tonight, it's the ultimate confrontation with the American Dream and a test of who is the better man.
Rhodes finally gets the elbow loose. And now our third time to the head. And that nails Luger. Right flat to the mat he goes. Rhodes, though, still hurt, still staggering. And Luger taking advantage of it. He missed that time. And here it is.
Oh, no.
The Weaver lock. The sleeper hold on Lex Luger.
All right, Tony, here's the thing that upsets me. Here you see Tony Schiavone, you see the referee standing 4 or 5 feet away. How can he possibly determine from this angle whether it's a choke hold or a legitimate sleeper hold? Moving in, not even checking to see if it's a sleeper hold. More concerned with whether Lex Luger is going out or not.
Now, it appears right there he's on the chin. But anyway, JJ, here you are. And now things start to happen quickly as far as you're concerned.
Well, here I came into the ring just out of total frustration because the referee allowed this thing to continue. Now it appears the referee has called for the bell. He's stopped the match because of what's happened. But obviously it's far from being over with Lex Luger and with Dusty Rhodes. But something's got to be done.
Breaking him across the eyes, James J. Dillon, and now Luger and Dillon both stomping away at Dusty Rhodes. A 2-on-1. Fans, keep watching here because things will start to happen quickly. Bill Alfonso goes down, JJ.
Well, Dusty Rhodes needs to be taught a lesson. Bill Alfonso, irrespective of a referee, should just stay out of the way.
Now, Johnny Weaver standing up right at ringside, and here he comes. He did not like a 2-on-1 situation, and look right here.
Now, here's the part that really, really unnerves me. Johnny Weaver had nothing to do with this situation. He had no business in the ring. He was there solely in the role of the commentator at ringside. He's come through the rope. He's attacked me, the leader of the 4 Horsemen, from behind and put on with, yes, it's a legitimate sleeper hold.
Okay, a legitimate sleeper hold as only Johnny Weaver knows how to put it on. And there, down, you're out. James J. Dillon out right on the mat. Luger cannot get in, and obviously Dusty Rhodes will win by disqualification because of the double team.
One of the most embarrassing moments of my career, and here where I could have suffered permanent brain damage by having the sleeper put on me, laid out under those hot television lights, and nobody even making an attempt to revive me. This is a dangerous, dangerous situation.
Dusty Rhodes obviously doesn't want it to happen.
Yeah, he could care less. But Johnny Weaver, if he has any kind of a conscience at all, should have brought me around at least a full minute ago. I'm in real trouble here, and nothing that Lex Luger can do. Look at Weaver taking his good old time.
There it is. The revival, and still, obviously, for the remainder of the night, you are going to be a tired man. I guess for a couple of days, maybe a week following that.
Well, anytime the blood supply is cut off to the brain, oxygen to the brain is what makes the entire human body function. And when somebody takes that hold and cuts off the circulation at the carotid artery, that means the blood stops going to the head. That means the oxygen supply to the brain is cut off, and you go biddy-bye. And it's not a very comfortable, pleasant feeling, I might add.